Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Angry and Ornery Show. This is our special edition of the show because we examine the Oscar nominations. This particular show is being taped on February 11th, so it's the last show before the Oscars. So my partner in crime, Lionheart, and I have decided to give our picks for who we think may win. And I guess because it's recorded, you can check our work and see how well we did. Speaking of Lionheart, let's bring him out here, everybody. Come on out, Lionheart.
Ah! The floor! The floor! The floor is lava! The floor is lava! Ah,
dude,
What?
dude, it's red
What?
carpeting. Red carpeting.
Oh,
we're all
it's
fancy and stuff.
Carpeting?
See,
Okay,
you're in a tuxedo. Red carpeting. See the
badass.
Oscar?
Sorry, I thought it was lava. I'm sorry.
There's an Oscar behind you. Don't be scared.
Okay.
It's not a gold robot.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was hallucinating again. Okay, all right, okay.
See, there's a big Hollywood sign behind us. See, it's all Hollywood. Got it?
Okay.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that we film this every 2 weeks, and we film this in Second Life in the Sim Staccato in the city of Beguile. If you're in Second Life or would like to become a Second Life member, just do so. Go to secondlife.com, create an avatar, get online, get on the grid, look for me, Zoltan Mint, and we will get you here to this studio where you can watch the taping live. If you can't do any of that, you can watch us live on live stream Wednesdays, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, every other Wednesday. And finally, this show is recorded and edited and put up on YouTube, and that should be in a couple of days. Lionheart, are you trying to say something?
No, I'm not trying to say anything.
Oh.
Would you like me to?
No, but we have a very big show, so why don't we get to it and have a seat and get into our picks.
You got it.
All right. So we're not going to do all of them because time won't allow that, but we're going to do the top 6. And to be honest and truthful with you, our beloved fans, or whatever you are, I probably have not, and Lionheart I know has not seen every single pick. Is that correct?
I've seen all but like one.
I've seen most of them. However, I do an extensive amount of research by looking at lengthy trailers, interviews of the people that are in them, and I look at other critics' blogs and sites and TV shows, and I kind of gather a lot of information. And it should also be noted that my track record for picking the winners at the Oscars have been fairly good. I remember one particular season, back when you lived near me, Lionheart, you came over for a Oscar party, and I beat the pants off you.
And you took my pants.
Hey, what? No.
What? Oh,
no,
that was a different party.
That never occurred. Anyways, we are going to go from the lesser categories to the large categories, ending with Best Movie. But I will start with the performance by an actress in a supporting role. The categories include, the people include Patricia Arquette in the movie Boyhood, Laura Dern in Wild, Keira Knightley in The Imitation Game, and Emma Stone for The Birdman. And by the way, we're just going to say Birdman, not the entire Birdman, the unexpected virtue of ignorance. All right? So who's your pick for supporting actress?
I am going to go with Keira Knightley.
Really? Why?
Yes, I am. You know what? I saw The Imagination Game. I thought it was very good. Out of the people that she's in the category with, she definitely beat out Emma Stone. I didn't really think Emma Stone was that great in Birdman. Meryl Streep, I think she needed to make a house payment, and that's the only reason why she was in Into the Woods. Laura Dern, never liked her. Patricia Arquette, never liked her. So that's what my basis is on.
Well, I agree with Patricia Arquette and Laura Dern. They're not my favorite actresses, either in a lead role or a supporting role. But I differ. I am picking Emma Stone, and that's based on a couple of facts. First of all, it's really Emma Stone's first big dramatic role. Um, I mean, she's been in other movies, obviously, but they've all been kind of,
Kiddish.
goofy, yeah, immature type of parts or whatever. I'm not saying she is, but I mean, certainly her parts were. I mean, I can't imagine anybody else in some of the movies that she's been in, but this is kind of a artsy, serious, dramatic role for her. So I think that's going to get the attention of a lot of people in the Academy. That is. Secondly, she's very popular, and I don't think there's too many people that don't like her. And if you look at the roster, other than Keira Knightley, I think she has a good shot at it just based on popularity. I know it's not supposed to be a contest, but let's face it, who's fooling who here?
It is.
So I'm going to pick Emma Stone, and you're going with Keira Knightley. Any other more
Yes.
comments about actress in supporting role? And by the way, audience out in Second Life World, if you want to leave your comments on who you think may win, then type it in there and we'll mention them. If you agree with us, say so. If you disagree, we'll listen to that and not say anything. No, we will mention that too. So, all right. Then we move on to performance by an actor in a supporting role. This is a little harder for me because I do like almost everybody in this category. But go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to read them first. We got Robert Duvall, The Judge, Ethan Hawke for Boyhood, Edward Norton for Birdman, Mark Ruffalo for Foxcatcher, and J.K. Simmons for Whiplash. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Duvall, not because he's an Oscar-heavy pick, and usually he always wins, but what he's nominated for. This was a complete and different role for him. I know you haven't seen all the films, but he's playing a very hard-nosed judge who was very strict by the law, who is going through cancer, Alzheimer's, and very many different other things. And it's a little bit different for him, and he does fantastic in it. So I really think they're going to give it to him this year. Might be the last time he's ever up for an Oscar. That's why I think they're going to slip it into him. But he was fantastic in The Judge. He really was. I wish Downey Jr. would have been nominated for it, but they didn't. So, what is your pick, sir?
Well, I think Robert Duvall won't get it because he's kind of like the male equivalent of Meryl Streep. He has been nominated so many times, and he has won several times for actor. I think he's even won for supporting actor, if I'm not mistaken. We can research that. But anyways, so I discounted him. I think he's terrific. I think he's a great actor, no doubt about it. I also love Ethan Hawke, as you know. I think he's one of the,
He's very underrated.
He's so underrated, and most people haven't seen some of the best movies he's been in. And Edward Norton, I mean, again, underrated. I think he's terrific. I don't know too much about J.K. Simmons, to be honest, but Mark Ruffalo, he's very similar to Emma Stone in this category because he's done some, I don't want to say immature, but comic book like roles, literally comic book roles. So for him to be in a movie like Foxcatcher, I think that again is going to get the Academy's attention, and so therefore I picked him.
Okay, if you think so, it's set in
We'll
stone
find
now.
out. Yes, it is. And Emma Stone? Hey, I'd like to be set.
Yeah.
Never mind. Hey, wait a minute. Okay, so our third category, and now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of things. We have the performance by an actress in a leading role. You have to understand, when an actress or an actor wins this, it changes their career. You watch.
And
the movies are different.
Adds a zero to their paycheck.
It definitely does that. But just their demeanor seemed to change too. But anyways, very important for these people. You have Marion Cotillard for 2 Days, One Night. Felicity Jones for The Theory of Everything. Julianne Moore for Still Alice. Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl, and Reese Witherspoon for Wild. Your pick, sir.
This is an odd pick for me. The reason being, I absolutely, positively hated the film Gone Girl. I thought it was very Yeah, I thought it was very overrated.
Just as
Um,
one of our audience members says that she loved it.
yeah, but I'm gonna go with Rosamund Pike because even though it's not a good film, she brings something to that character. And as you watch her on screen kind of unfold, she has very many different faces and she does a good job of acting. And that's what sold it with me on her. She goes from being a helpless housewife to very many different other things in this film. To seductress. I think she's going to get it. She's fairly new to the Oscar scene. She really hasn't done a lot of major films. She was a Bond girl, stuff like that. But I think they're going to give it to her. I really do. I really, really do. And you, sir?
Well, I went with the cliche because I absolutely do not like or enjoy Julianne Moore. I never thought she was good in any movie I've seen her in. I mean, she's not horrible. She's a decent actress, but I think she's overrated. But she's also loved by Hollywood. Everybody in Hollywood, actors, directors, everybody loves her for some unknown reason. Perhaps she's just a sweet person. And she's kind of like the new modern the woman I just mentioned earlier, who wins ours, Meryl Streep, right? So I went with her for Still Alice, and the movie got quite a lot of buzz. I mean, it certainly got the buzz at the Golden Globes. So based on the Golden Globes and based on the fact that she's loved by everybody, I went with Julianne Moore. I probably would have liked to see maybe Felicity Jones, only because I think The Theory of Everything was an awesome, terrific film.
It is.
And, if it wins any awards, it's not nominated for that many. So, this would have been a good one. But, maybe the actor will win. We'll see. But we'll get to that in a moment. The point is, I guess it's just out of the cliche that she's loved in Hollywood. It's her time. They're going to vote for her.
We'll see. We shall find out.
Right.
Do you think they're going to let Stephen Hawking into the Academy Awards?
I think he'll be front and center.
Well, he can't be front and center exactly.
No, he has to be front and center because that's where they have the wheelchair access.
Oh, you went there. I wasn't even going there, but
What? Nobody knows he's in a wheelchair?
Well, no, I wasn't going to go that far. I mean, do they have to remove a couple seats for him to get his chair in or something? Or is he going to be like sitting in the aisle or, something like that?
All right, we're going to go
Put
into
him in with the
horrible
orchestra
jokes.
pit.
Let's stop before we get in trouble, okay?
Okay.
I just hope he doesn't sing on stage.
Maybe he will sing one of the songs. That would be fantastic.
Hollywood.
Or going to hell in a handbasket.
We are. All right, yeah, this will be cut out in post-production. All right, so anyways, we move on to our next category, which is performance by an actor in a leading role, sometimes considered one of the most important, even over the director and movie in some cases. But in this case, we have Steve Carell for Foxcatcher, Bradley Cooper in American Sniper, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Imitation Game, Michael Keaton for Birdman, and Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything. Now, before you say anything, Lionheart, keep in mind that I think you and I both agree that every one of these candidates are incredible performers in one way or the other. Do you not think that?
No, I almost completely agree with you on that.
We already have people. Chris says Benny C or Cumberbatch.
Yeah, there's
Maya's looking for Keaton or Redmond. And Queen says Benedict. So, anyways, they're all very good in their own elements. Even Steve Carell, who delivers a powerful, punch-you-in-the-gut performance in Foxcatcher, which he's never done before, So, Bradley Cooper, the hangover silly guy, the good-looking guy, does an amazing performance. Whether you like the movie or not, you got to admit that was an amazing performance. But anyways, Benedict Cumberbatch for Sherlock Holmes, he's great in that. Michael Keaton for his big body of work that he's done, and Eddie Redmayne, he tackles a role that everybody was afraid to take. So, what's your pick based on that?
Well, my problem with this list is I don't think they're going to give it to Carell just because I think Steve Carell is going to become the new Robin Williams. And that's, you got a funny man who every so many years is going to put out a serious film. He did it
Good
with
point.
Little Miss Sunshine. He did it, he does that every once in a while. He'll do a serious film. And
And he comes from
yeah,
stand-up comedy just like
yeah.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. He's the new Robin Williams is what he is. And I think what it's going to take for him to win is the Robin Williams syndrome of he's going to grow a mustache and beard and he's going to have to win it then. Bradley Cooper shouldn't even be nominated. Benedict, I'd like to see him win, but I don't think he's going to get it. Eddie Redmayne, how hard is it to sit in a chair pushing a button? Okay,
Dude, for half the film, he's not in the chair.
I know, but still, it's almost like he's a supporting actor in his own film. Is the best way to describe his performance. I'm not saying it's bad. Is it best actor worthy? No. Maybe a supporting role for him, but I think it's going to go to
the
Keaton.
movie's about him.
I know, but I think it's going to go to Michael Keaton because I think Birdman is Michael Keaton's Pulp Fiction, and what I mean by that is Pulp Fiction brought back John Travolta and everything, and I think that's what Birdman's going to do for Michael Keaton. I think it's going to put him back on top. I think he's going to win the award for it, and I think we're going to have a new, very long, happy run of Michael Keaton films, which I think would be fantastic because he's very underrated. So that's my thought. What about you, sir?
Well, it's a very hard category for me because each one of these guys, I think, are likable in their own particular way. I mean, and they each have their own unique skill talents or skill sets. I mean, Steve Carell can be extremely funny when he wants to be. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is just cool. He's probably one of the coolest British actors that have come out of Great Britain in a long time. Michael Keaton, I mean, I've always liked him, but in this particular role, he's completely devoted himself to it.
Yeah.
You can see that in his performance. Eddie Redmayne, again, he transforms himself from, a regularly healthy fellow to this, 60-pound curled up man in a wheelchair, which I know you say everybody can do that, but it takes a lot of physical training for that. And, he had to learn how to do all of that. And so, Bradley Cooper, he doesn't have that big of a resume to be excited about, but yet I think people are just crazy about him as a person. And, he's a nice fellow. When he's on the talk shows, he's extremely cordial. He's very humble. And he got a lot of street cred with me because of that. But anyways, my pick, believe it or not, is for Michael Keaton, same as you. And I went with Michael Keaton because he is just so damn dedicated to this. And there's so much buzz about him right now in Hollywood coming kind of out of a failed career. I mean, It wasn't really fail. It was just kind of retired.
It stalled.
And now he's got this gigantic following of people, young people don't even know who he was. I mean, hey, kids, he was one of the Batmans, to now, like you said, he may make a series of films, and they may all be art films, because Birdman is almost an art film.
Yeah, it is. It's not for everybody.
Right. And if he keeps making movies like that, I think it would be an impressive career. But then again, Lionheart, this could be his swan song. This could be the last movie he makes.
Oh, well, he is.
I mean, last movie he makes that's good.
Right. But he is in negotiations for a lot of stuff right now. He's going to probably be in the new King Kong. And that's all catapulting off of this film because his name is back out there again.
Right.
I mean, for Pete's sakes, granted, hopefully it doesn't happen. I would love it. But they've dusted off the old Beetlejuice Part 2 script. And they're planning on moving forward with it now just because he has so much notoriety off of Birdman. So
is he going to be an old Beetlejuice? Do ghosts?
I don't know at this point.
Hey, with CGI, they can do anything, right?
Yeah, they can.
I noticed in the new Terminator, they CGI Arnold to look younger.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But, all right, so we'll move on to the next category. You're ready for achievement in directing.
Oh boy.
We have for Birdman. It's going to be hard to say his name.
Alejandro. Yep.
in Naruto.
Yep. You got it.
Yeah. Boyhood, we have Richard Linklater. Foxcatcher, we have Bennett Miller. For the Grand Budapest Hotel, we have Wes Anderson. And The Imitation Game, Morton Kildum. Now, before you comment on your pick, I just wanted to say that this one is near and dear to my heart because I have done some directing in my lifetime, both theater stage, some short film, and I have a movie production degree that where we had to do a lot of student films. So I know exactly how hard it is to be a director and all of the stress and anxiety just on the small projects I've worked on. I couldn't imagine, the big budget Hollywood movies that these guys have to direct. So I think it's a fairly good pick of directors for this category. Your thoughts and pick, Lionheart.
This was very hard for me. This was very, 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 very hard for me. Not to
12 years
overshadow things. When you look at a list like this, there's certain things you kind of have to take off right off the bat. I'm not saying these directors didn't do as good of a job, but you look at Foxcatcher. It's like watching a play. It's going to be the actors. You're going to have a camera there. There's not a lot of hard shots. So that kind of takes it out for me for that one. You've got Boyhood. Same exact thing. The Imagination Game.
But Boyhood, dude, that guy lived it part of his life for over 10 years.
I know. I know.
How can you discount that?
Well,
you know how you discount that? Here's how you discount that. Nobody's seen the movie.
Right.
That's the problem. The Academy people have to watch these films, but they're going to watch movies and think about movies harder if it has a huge following. Unfortunately, although it's a great film, Boyhood, not so many people saw it. It had limited release.
Right. So that leaves me with two, and that's Grand Budapest Hotel and Birdman. I loved both of these films, but what's going to give it to my pick, I'm going to give it to Birdman, I'm going to give it to Alejandro, because to direct a film and have the whole film, and yes, it's a good work on the editor's part, but to have a film look like it is in one solid single take is very hard to do.
Even though it's not. It's not.
Right.
Did you know? I mean, they trick you into thinking it is.
Right. It's a lot of, you pass over a wall that's dark and that's where the edit cut is.
Right.
Right. But to try to move from indoors to outdoors and have things look and move seamlessly,
he made some beautiful artistic decisions.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with him because you know what? Yeah, I know it's a larger scale of other people helping him, but darn, that had to be really hard to do. So I'm going to give it to Birdman. I'm going to go with Birdman. I really am.
Well, it's a good choice, and it was actually my second choice. I probably would have gone with Birdman. But early on, I actually purchased the DVD of the Grand Budapest Hotel, and we watched it several months ago. And back then I said to the people I was watching it with, this movie is going to be nominated for an Academy Award for director, probably actor, and a lot of technical awards. And indeed it was. So I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm still going with it as Best Director. Wes Anderson is a crazy guy.
Love him.
And
love him.
I love him too, and I don't think he's made a movie I haven't liked. But the thing is, you said earlier that Birdman is, artistic. It's beautiful. Well, the Grand Budapest Hotel is beautifully filmed. Cinematography probably can't get better, and it should win for that. And the thing about it is, it's a stupid movie. I mean, it's a dumb movie about dumb things, right? I mean, there's nothing land shaking or incredibly important in this film, but you are drawn into it and you can't stop watching it. And I think the reason why is the direction. I think that director grabs you by your ear and pulls you along at such a breakneck speed that you don't have a chance to even ask, what the hell is this movie about? Because really, what is it about?
It's about chaos.
It's
about a simple lobby boy who comes up through the ranks is what it is. So, But
Wait, we have a bet.
we have a
going
lot
here?
going on.
All right, let's look at local for a little bit here. All right, if I'm right on my picks, you guys owe me. Oh no, how about if we actually bet Lyndon's Miss Maya? You want to put your money where your mouth
Wait,
is?
betting is illegal in Second Life.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think what Maya is saying that she thinks Budapest is going to win for Best Director. Is that true? Is that what you're saying? No. Okay.
Oh, she's saying we're wrong.
Oh, Boyhood's going to win. Okay. So she's going with
Okay.
Richard Linklater. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Grand Budapest Hotel, Lionheart, Birdman. Both. Well, all of these movies are good, but I think there's a good chance that one of us is going to win.
Okay.
Any other comments from our peanut gallery for?
They're going
picks
nuts
leading
up
up
there.
to.
Oh my God! Wow.
We got Olivia that's indecisive, and Chris who's just in love with Benedict Cumberbatch and just hopes he wins anything.
You know what? I love him, but just to see the look on her face if he wins, I want him to walk out and like trip and fall flat on his face, and just completely have everybody laugh at him. So be just like Carrie. We're all gonna laugh at you.
I think she's also in love with Eddie Redmayne too, but for other reasons than that movie.
Okay.
Okay, so we are coming up onto our last and most important category, and that's Best Motion Picture of the Year. Now, back in the old days, this used to only be what, five categories, or five nominations. But because so many movies are being made, and so much money are being made from movies that are nominated and win, or just nominated, they decided to add more. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And they created the category of animated film has its own Academy Award now. So technically you have more than that now.
Right, Queen. Queen said that Budapest is based on the works of Stefan Zweig. Also, I'm Hungarian, so I should probably be voting for the Budapest movie, but hey. Anyways, here are your Best Motion Pictures of the Year nominations. American Sniper. Clint Eastwood directing. I'm sorry. What do they got? I've got a listing of a whole bunch of people, but I can't tell.
Oh, those are the producers.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood, Robert Lorenz, Andrew Lazar, Bradley Cooper, and Peter Morgan, producers. Okay, yeah, so we won't. Do we need the producers? Maybe we do.
No, we don't need to list any of that.
Okay, Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. Boyhood. The Grand Budapest Hotel. The Imitation Game. Selma, The Theory of Everything, and finally, Whiplash. So, in my opinion, this category isn't as hard as the previous categories, specifically actor and director. I've got some pretty obvious choices in my thinking, but go ahead. What do you got, Lionheart?
Once again, tough decision. They were all mostly very good films. I'm gonna go with Grand Budapest, though.
Really?
I think it was a fun enough and visually pleasing movie that it's gonna be kind of like the feel-good film of the day. Even though it ends on a weird note, I think it's gonna go to Grand Budapest. Birdman is fantastic, but I think 45% of the people who do watch it are going to say that they liked it, even though that they didn't understand it. And that's the problem that you have with films like Birdman, is it is an intellectual, intelligent film.
But don't you think that the Grand Budapest Hotel was a little hard to understand?
No, not for me, because I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan, and I've watched so many of his films. I just recently picked them all up again on Blu-ray Criterion Special Editions. And I thrive on those. I eat every, item on those discs.
Rattle some off for our audience.
Of his films, we've got The Fantastic Mr. Fox, Rushmore, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, The Royal Tenenbaums.
All very quirky films.
Yeah, they're very quirky, and he keeps the same cast in all of his films. But I really think it's going to go to Grand Budapest. I think it's just pushed the right amount of buttons of entertainment that they're going to like it. Like I said, I think Birdman is too intelligent. I think they're scared to give it to American Sniper, just because of backlash of things that might happen. So out of those are the big ones. The Imagination Game, it's a good movie. It's not fresh. You and I are old.
Imitation Game.
Yeah, the Imitation Game. You and I have seen films like this, where it's very, very similar to this. I mean, there's a movie that came out in the 80s called Enigma, which is about roughly the same exact thing. So it's not a fresh film. Grand Budapest was very fresh. It was new and it was original, and I think that's why it's going to get it.
Well, that's probably my second choice, and you probably are going to hate me for my first choice. Let me preface before I say that before the taping of this, we had a conversation about American Sniper and the fact that it seems to be an extremely important movie, specifically for veterans. I think the exact opposite of what you said is going to come true. I think they're going to pick American Sniper as the best movie for the controversial element. First and foremost, it's an important movie. Americans, specifically Americans, need to see this film. Secondly, we did kind of cow down and get in trouble, Sony did anyways, with the interview and all that silliness. I don't see that in the nominations. What a shock.
It's considered one of the worst films ever made for this year.
So, because of that, I think this is a time for the Academy and perhaps America to say, look, we do have this history. There are important men in it. This is an important story, and we do honor these guys. And so this is why it should win. I mean, and I'm not saying that it's the only important political movie on there, because, my God, you have Selma. And, Selma could very well win, not because it was a good movie, and I'm not saying it was or not, but I'm saying they gave no other nominations to any other black performer. So maybe they were thinking, well, Selma will win picture and will not get criticized. I hate to think that, but that may be the case. But as far as, outstanding movie, outstanding subject, outstanding director, I mean, I love Clint Eastwood. He took some risks on this. I'm going to give it to American Sniper, not necessarily because it's my favorite film, but because I think it's powerful enough and there's so much buzz about it and it's so serious that they're going to throw it out there with an Academy Award to kind of what's the word, authenticate, to authenticate it. So I'd love to see Birdman win because it is a much more fun movie, but I think it's going to go to American Sniper.
Well, we will have to wait and see.
We will indeed. Well, you folks that watch us on YouTube will be able to see what we got right and what we got wrong. And when we come back in 2 weeks, we'll let you know what our rankings are. If nothing else,
we were horribly wrong.
Right. And Lionheart will definitely make fun of me. But actually, Lionheart, if you will, and on air, I'm challenging you to print out a full ballot and guess at the other categories. So we can do a score comparison somewhere. I think there's 25, 30 categories, something like that. So
I don't know. I can't count that high.
Watch along in 2 weeks on Sunday at the Academy Awards, and we'll see what happens. With that, I think we're over time. So let us night to our audience here. Once again, people, come to Second Life, come into Beguile and see a live taping. We have a lot of fun here. Who knows? You might even appear on camera, at least your avatar. And watch us on live stream. As we're recording this, it is going out live to anybody who wants to tune in to that particular channel on live stream. And then please follow the Angry and Ornery channel on YouTube, where you can catch this show and all the other shows. This is our 21st episode.
21st episode.
21st episode. We got 3 more, and we'll call it a season. So who knows?
We'll call it something.
New and exciting things will come in the future. We're already plotting and planning things. So
maybe I'll have a new hot and sexy co-host.
Yeah, you mean. Anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and tune in next time and see you in the movies.
Have a good night.